Hello, everyone. Good morning. So, as Ed introduced me, I am Margarita Orlova, and I'm a lifestyle content creator here in Cyprus. Essentially, my content is in very, very different industries. My biggest passion is actually discovering hidden gems in Cyprus, where I go to local taverns, different events, even Airbnb stays, everything like that. But I also work with very big and even global brands, such as, let's say, McDonald's, L'Occitane, Mark & Spencer, KFC, you name it. Also, I can't believe I'm saying it, but this year I've been published in Forbes in Cyprus, and they named me as a bridge between gems and community of Cyprus. And on top of it, I've also worked with almost 12 projects with tourism board in Cyprus last year. So I do a lot of different things. I'm extremely passionate about life in Cyprus, and this is something that I'm trying to translate to the world here and out there for the global community. So my topic for today is actually, why do people trust us creators sometimes more than the companies themselves? I think it's a big topic both for creators and companies here today on Doers Summit. So I want to dive in and share a little bit of my story, how I started creating. Essentially, I came to Cyprus and I was so extremely bored here. Like, I felt like there's nothing to do, nothing interesting. And I just started walking out there and discovering place and like shooting, hi, I'm here in this cute cafe, have a look, it's so cute. And I started getting a lot of attention. People were saying, oh my God, I live here 20 plus years and I've never seen, and I live right across it. And after a while, I started posting more and more, and a lot of people started giving me a lot of feedback. It was personal direct messages with very heartwarming messages like, oh my God, thank you so much. Because of you, I discovered this place. I'm now going there every day. Or maybe I helped some family business and they were happy that it's their friends. And the thing is, here was my switch moment where I realized these people are reaching out and talking to me and not directly to the establishments or companies that I was representing. So why was this trust going towards me and not to them? And that's why I realized I need to post more and more and more and show more things to the people. Creators are not just posting. It's not just a story, just a reel, just a TikTok. With every single piece of content that we're putting out there, it's a little grain of trust that we are creating with our audience. Every comment reply, every single thing is like building a real relationship with somebody that is watching behind the screen. So when we are producing content, we try to think of three main factors, three main pillars behind the content. So it's going to be either entertainment kind of content, it's going to be either value or information style of content, or education. So it's usually these three. As creators, because frankly speaking, audience also became very picky and very selective with what you're watching, guys. We try to mix all three at the same time, or at least two. However, companies sometimes don't include even one. Sometimes it's just content for the sake of content. And why, in this case, are we wondering why you're not getting engagement, likes, follows, etc., if you're not providing any value to somebody who is watching? That is one of the many reasons as to why people trust us. We give them certain value that they can grab and take for themselves. And they feel like we're speaking to people instead of marketing it and pushing the products down their throats. That being said, also a big thing is a voice that we are having in our content. A typical path for marketeers or companies or marketing agencies is that there is so many people implemented in deciding one piece of content. You know, a typical thing would be a marketeer, creative director, graphic designer, here, there, etc. They are speaking, one meeting, another meeting. By the time the content has been produced, it's already been like, what, week, maybe sometimes month, and that's way too long for content. As creators, typically it's one voice. I have an idea, I execute it, I post it. It's much quicker of a timeline, as well as people do feel a more direct connection as it's one person speaking to them instead of at least 10 in one piece of content. And in the same time, once again, we also communicate. We speak to our audience. We reply comments. We reply DMs. We also admit mistakes. We are humanizing ourselves out there. So from this, what can brands adapt to themselves? Well, first of all, as Pauline said previously, humanizing is very important. If you don't know how to humanize your brand, you have people that are working with you. Show their faces, show what they're thinking, show their opinions, or use them as ambassadors of your brand. It's a very popular trend, actually, as of recently. Like, even cafeterias sometimes post people behind the counter, how they're preparing coffee, how they're having some morning banter, you know. This attracts people to come into your cafe, and sometimes it's not about the coffee taste even, it's about the atmosphere that is in there. And remember that it's like with every relationship. If you want to build a bond, you have to invest in a relationship. You have to invest time. You have to, of course, sometimes invest finances in those relationships. But don't expect something like this to happen overnight. You can't build a friendship or relationships in one day. That does require attention and detail to building this. And another last thing, probably, is if you're a company and you actually want to work with creators, make sure that they actually represent your brand, and you also believe that you're going to be a good bond and a good connection together. Because if you're going to be judging something just by followers, etc., but at the end of the day, that creator is not going to be having the best intentions and not having the best, you know, content creators are also brands. If it's not going to be a match, it's just not going to work in the long term. And speaking of long term, if you're actually finding a creator that works for you, make sure that that's going to be a long-term collaboration, because most of the time, one-time collabs, they feel more transactional, more quick, more out of place. Meanwhile, a long-term collaboration makes you feel more of a consistent relationship that's happening between the brand and the creator translates that over every single piece of content. And on top of it, creators, we know what we are doing. We've been doing this for many years. So we know exactly how our content works. We know our strategies. We know what works for our audience, etc. That's a creative process that we've been building, and we trust, and we know that it works. Try not to get too much into that creative process. Give your creators freedom for that creation. At the end of the day, you're coming to us and we are telling you what we can offer. We're not production houses exactly. We're not photography studios. We have our own style, and if we're going to be a match, we can create something very beautiful together. And at the end of the day, also a quick reminder, we are in Cyprus. We're such social human beings. We're such a small society. This social element and this social element of trust plays a massive role into how we perceive the content out there. I hope I've been helpful today, and I hope you learned something new from me. And if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to reply them. Thank you very much for your attention.
Give it up for Rita!
Thank you. Thank you so much, Adi.
I loved it. Questions, quickly. 2. Number 1 and number... Katerina? No. Okay. Number 2, and if we have time, number 3.
All right.
Number 1.
Yeah.
You've asked 500 questions tonight. Just go.
I really love this presentation, and I get a question.
Thank
you. Do you text companies, or are they contacting you?
Actually, funnily enough, I only texted a few companies in the beginning of my journey, but at this point they're reaching out to me directly. I'm not saying it actually in a cocky way, like, oh, they're reaching me out. The thing is, when, as a creator, you create certain value and certain style, you're already promoting that content by yourself. So companies want exactly that, so they will reach you out for that most of the time. So yes, they reach me out mostly. Yep.
Awesome, thanks.
Number 2. Quickly, Katerina. No, Katerina. I know your name is not Katerina. It's the only name I could think of.
Thank you for sharing your perspective on the creator side. That was very, very interesting.
Thank you so much.
When companies do reach out to you, do you have a preferred way of interacting with a company? Like, do they reach out via DM, or is it like more of a traditional email conversation or management? Or what do you appreciate in the
I'll tell you honestly. So, okay, I'm a human being. I'm a creative person. I like to have this creative flow. Now, I am being reached out either by DMs or emails most of the time. I personally prefer DMs. I think it's a bit easier for me to control, and most of the time it's a bit more informal kind of conversation. I take it to the emails already, let's say if we agreed something and we need to go over, let's say, certain brief or certain discussion, confirmations, etc. But most of the time, in my opinion, that is just something purely personal. When there is a lot of back and forth emails, formalities, jargon, etc., like I can speak that language, no problem, but it kills this creativity in the process, and I feel like I'm personally sometimes maybe losing motivation with all those formalities. I understand they're important sometimes, but I think it really does depend on also the person I'm speaking to. For some people, they need that certainty. I respect that, and I'm happy to have a conversation like that. But with some people, most of the time, also long-term clients, it's a phone call, a thank you, be there, see ya. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time for Rita Orlova!
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.